welcome to another episode of Rambling with Seven. I am your host, Seven. Duh. Today's topic is going to be cheating part 2. If you did not watch part 1, do that. Last week we talked about what cheating is. This week is the worst way you found out somebody cheated on you. And I actually have a couple of stories of my own that I will tell. Not ways that I got caught cheating, because no, why would I self-incriminate? No thanks. But these are ways that people have told me, or that I have been made aware of the situation. But first, we're gonna do, I forgot. My drink of the day. Still my wine. Still sipping on it. Still got water. I ain't had none of that, but it's really sweet. I like sweet wines. The red, I was actually going to drink. I was actually going to drink the red, but we only got one bottle of that. We had 2 bottles of the white. The red is really bitter, in my opinion. I drank it. I do want to try it mixed, though. And I feel like I only have 1 bottle of the red. So for some reason it has deep sentimental value to me. Am I going to go to Target to see if I can find it? If I can still find it? No. No. But it has deep sentimental value to me. Anyway. Things that get my knickers in a hide. So, reading wrap-ups. Y'all really about to piss me off. Because why is this even a thing? Why are you offended about my reading wrap-up? Whether it be my weekly wrap-up, my monthly wrap-up, my yearly wrap-up, because according to y'all, 20 books in a year is doing too much, and I had over 200 last year. So I just want y'all to simmer down and relax. Okay? That's first. Second, read more. Like, what are you doing with your life? Read more. That's all I can. How is what I'm doing affecting you? How is what I eat making you shit? It's not. Please relax. It's giving participation trophy. It's giving everybody has to get an award. It's giving nobody is number 1, but somebody won the game. All right? Somebody won the game and somebody lost. And it sounded like the loser was you. The only thing that I can suggest is read more. And being okay with you and your body. For instance, me, like I said, I read over 200 books last year. 1, I wasn't doing this podcast then. I had a lot more time on my hands. 2, I do not watch TV. I don't. Like, and you might be confused because of the Grey's Anatomy. But I used to watch Grey's. I don't really watch it. Grace has jumped the shark so many times. It is unreal. So, I don't watch TV. All I do is read. Read and talk to my wife. I have friends now. I talk to my friends. Sometimes. I'm not one of those like needy friends that talks to them like every day. I do kind of wish that I had somebody that I talk to every day. So this is what be happening, right? So I'd be like, dang, I really want to talk to somebody every day. I just want a bestie. Where's my bestie? And then somebody will hit me up one too many times, and I'll be like, slow down, desperate. Okay? Pump our brakes. Why are you texting me so much? Please relax. And this is how I end up in the predicaments that I be in. Like, I want us to be friends, but I also want us to have space. And lots of it. But then, like, not. So, yeah. Anywho, let's get to the personal experiences. So, the first one, I was dating this chick. We were long distance. One of the only long distance relationships I've actually been in. And it was cool. And like I said, when I love hard. I am extremely loyal. When I'm not cheating. Okay, so to clarify, in my late teens, early 20s, when I first started dating, really, in that gap between like 14 and 23, 24. No, I was 28, I think, when I finally had like a... Nope, 29. When I finally had like a bout of singleness, okay? Because I was a serial monogamist, so I would make sure that I had another relationship. Like, if I sensed this ship sinking, I would look around, hop on another ship before this one sank. Because I was always going to be in a relationship. I am better now because healing, right? But this ain't about me. Well, it's about me, but... So me and this girl, we were together a little less than a year. I think we were together like 10 months. We were great, actually. Like, she came to see me around Christmas. I don't want to say that we were together on Christmas. Not physically together. But I want to say it might have been one of the times that she surprised me. I don't know. I can't remember. Like, there's so many times that are just blurred together. But we were together. We did some Black Friday shopping. Actually, it was Thanksgiving that we were together. We were Black Friday shopping, and she bought me a TV and a computer. By the way, thanks. But then around Christmas we were still fine. New Year's, we were fine. New Year's Eve, we were fine. She called me at midnight, or just before midnight, and gave me a kiss via the phone. Super sweet, right? Right? You think. We broke up. Mind you, this is New Year's Eve. She started acting funny New Year's Day. Like, something about the kiss, it was like a kiss goodbye, I guess. I don't know. But she started acting funny. We broke up on the 18th of January. I don't know why I have these dates in my brain. I have a thing about dates, which is crazy because I am not a history buff. Could not tell you crap that happened in history. But dates are my thing. So then we break up, but we still remain friends. We still flirt and do all of the things. By this time I had moved. It was like a few months later. And we're talking, and she tells me about how she hooked up with her girl crush on New Year's. And I was like, you hear the record scratching. I was like, huh. Because, again, we broke up January 18th. That's after January 1st. So I'm like, huh. What New Year's? And she was like, New Year's of this year. And I was like, you mean the New Year's that we were together? And she was like, nah. And I was like, yeah, we were. And she was like, oh, insert awkward silence here. And then we got off the phone because what do you say after that? You like what do we have to talk about? Thanks for letting me know. And then this other one, and I didn't even break up with this chick after this. It was something that I knew. Just, it was one of those unspoken things. I won't give too many details because, frankly, I don't want to. But I was with this chick. We were on the phone. We would, you know how you be cupcaked on the phone at night, all hugged up, right? I heard really loud snoring in the phone. And I was like, did you go to sleep? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, the fuck is that? She said that it was somebody sleeping in her living room. Mind you, she's in the master at the back of the apartment. You have to go from the living room, you have to walk past the living room is at the front of the apartment. You have to walk past the kitchen, a bathroom, another room, a bedroom, in order to, this is a hallway, in order to get to the master. This person is snoring right next to you. Like, I might be crazy, but I'm not that crazy. I know what I'm hearing. I ain't even break up with her. It was crazy. It was crazy, like, but there was no way in the hell that snoring coming right next to her, and you could tell it was a deep snore. So I was like, all right, noted. I'm sure that we broke up sometime after that because obviously not my wife. So anywho, I have stories of people. So I went on Reddit and I was like, let me see what Reddit actually has to say. Right? And let me just tell you, it is absolutely insane how people treat people around here, okay? Absolutely insane. So this person, glasses. So this person says, an ex-girlfriend had told me that she was sick one evening, but I was unable to check up on her that night, so I decided to check up on her the next day. The following morning, I get to work and I realize that my route is going to put me near her house, so I decided to surprise her with her favorite Starbucks drink, some fruit, and some medicine. She had class around noon, and I wasn't going to be near her house until about 10:30 a.m. So I asked if she was home, so I wouldn't unnecessarily buy her hot drink if she was already on campus. She intimated. That is what it says. She intimated that she was home, so I then asked my coworkers who I was riding with if they would mind me going through with the surprise. They gave the go ahead, and we went to the shopping center not far from her house, and I bought everything. We then drive to her house, but as we get closer, I don't see her car on the street. where she usually parks. Nothing on the driveway, nothing in the garage. Though her roommate usually parked in the garage. I think this is odd, but I still decided to try the door, but of course, no answer. At this point, my heart began to sink, but I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. It's mistake number one. I then texted her to ask if she was coming to answer the door, and she asked if I was at her house. I responded with a yes, and she responded by saying she'd be there in 10 minutes. I go back to the truck and tell my coworker what is going on, and they express their suspicions. So about 10-15 minutes, like, what are you doing that you have so many coworkers in the car, or in the vehicle? So about 10-15 minutes later, she arrives and is sick, like she had told me the day before, but is wearing her work uniform and smelled like sex. In the work uniform? She has a very distinctive scent. I am curious about what you mean by that. She then proceeds to tell me that she got off work, came home, and tried to sleep, but her room got too cold and she decided to go to her friend's house to sleep instead of just turning on the heat. We broke up a few weeks later after more evidence came out that there was more than just this one friend of hers. More like 2 to 4. 2 to 4? Man, that is an active vajayjay. That is an active vajayjay. I mean, it's her. She could do whatever she wants to with it, but like, active. It's like those reverse harem books. I just be like, when they be like, oh, I have 6 mates. That sounds tiring. That sounds exhausting. And it sounds like a sort of a JJ. And other things. But I digress. More like 2 to 4. And actually, I was the other guy, not her main. She also called me to get an STD test because she contracted HPV. Oh, not the papillomavirus. Thankfully, I was clean. Never again. Somebody said her kid told me as I was babysitting them. They said they were working 5 a.m. start shift. Once it got to 11 p.m., they were saying they were still stuck at work. Late shift, etc. 5 a.m. to 11 p.m.? Damn. I was at home taking care of our newborn baby. He finally comes home 15 plus hours later. I ended up caving and going through his phone about a month later due to other issues. To read messages from that day and times I was texting/calling him to his friend saying, I'm just cleaning up at your place before I go sleep with this girl again. What? Reading messages from that day and times I was texting/calling him. To his friend, okay, so there's words missing here. And apparently he was texting to his friend saying, I'm just cleaning up at your place before I go sleep with this girl again. Turns out he was at the girl's house from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. That is a family. While his family was at home waiting for him. That is every meal. That is breakfast, lunch, brunch, dinner, snacks. What do you mean you were there? Like, that is, you might as well have just stayed the full 24 hours. You might as well have just spent the night, bro. And also, like, so people are always like, you always see in these stories, they'll be like, oh, you know, I know it's really bad that I went through their phone. Fuck all of that. I go through my wife's phone all the time. She doesn't care. I go through her phone all the time. Am I looking for something that says that she's cheating on me? No. I am looking for something juicy. Her phone be dry as a bone. And I'm like, you don't have nothing? Like, nobody is confiding in you? Nobody is like, girl, I can't believe this happened. There is, like, nobody is telling you all their problems? Again, probably because my wife ain't like the touchy-feely type. Like, she'd be like, And I'd be like, say this. I be trying to work on her. It ain't working. So I had to go out and get my own friends. Hopefully somebody will start confiding in me. So I can, have something to talk about. Oh, this lady on TikTok. So this lady on TikTok, she found out that her husband was cheating on her in one of the most bizarre ways that this dude was next level. She went to text someone and her text would not go through. She was trying to text a lady and I think she had found her number in her husband's phone or something like that. They had been married a long time. So she went to text this lady and found out that her number wouldn't go through, and so she checked her block list. Do you know that this man, to cover his tracks, to make sure that nobody could reach out to her, woman to woman, no, it wasn't gonna be no, hey Barbara, this is Shirley. He said, nah, Shirley, not today. He blocked over 200 numbers. I think she said it was either over 208 or 211 or something like that. Either way, this man was next level. Like, he preemptively blocked these people's number out of her phone so that they could not contact her, so that he wouldn't get caught. Like, if that ain't some crazy stuff that I'd never heard. Somebody said, what is one of the worst ways that they found out somebody was cheating on them? And they said, went over to my friend's house. He was giving his kids a bath and said he would be right out. I was taking my 5-year-old over so the kids could play. I sat at his computer and saw a GChat message from my wife. So I instantly think, what the fuck? As anybody would, As I'm reading it, I see some pretty intense sexual comments between the two. Such as, I want you to make me slippery and wet. First of all, ew. And I want to F you hard. About this time, he comes into the room and I confront him. He tries to shush me because his wife was in the other room. And told me we'd talk about it later. At this point, I stood up to charge his... There's no way I'm going to get through this without cussing, without saying all the cuss words here. At this point, I stood up to charge his fat ass and noticed he was holding his 2-year-old son. This saved his life. No doubt, in my mind, I never did beat his ass. Good thing. I have 2 kids and they need their dad. Adrenaline was pumping so hard, I pulled a muscle in my right forearm from squeezing my fist so hard. Kicker, he has 1 arm. I'm sorry, what? Kicker, he has 1 arm. Not my doing. Oh, okay. TDLR. Wife cheated on me with a 1-armed man. Somebody said it should have left him with no arms. man, and somebody said I walked in on my husband with another man. That's a pretty shitty way to A, find out your husband is gay, and B, that your significant other is cheating. Somebody said, yeah, a pretty shitty way indeed. I'm sorry. Oh, Reddit is so funny to me. They said, it's all good. This was a while ago. The divorce has been finalized and I have moved on to continue living a wonderful life. I was dumbfounded, though, without question. That is always the thing about people that, decide that, I guess when they get religious or whatever, that they have to be straight, and then they find themselves, they know that, then they know the desires of their heart, right? And so they find some unsuspecting male or female, whichever member of the opposite gender, and they're like, oh, let's get married. Now you have hoodwinked and bamboozled a person and included them in your life. And heaven forbid you actually have children. And then, I understand the people that don't realize until later on in life. I get those people. The other people that knowingly go into the situation and they know, that you're not attracted to this person. You're just doing this because you feel like this is the right thing to do because somebody told you that this is the only way that you could get into heaven. First of all, that is lying. I believe that is one of the commandments. Or maybe not, I don't know. It's wrong regardless. I can't really think of what the 10 Commandments are. I have not read those in a hot minute, actually. No, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. Bearing false witness. Is that considered bearing false witness? I don't know. Good questions, huh? But, leave people out of that. Leave other, because now you have, what you are doing is affecting somebody. I can see if they were oh, I can help you overcome this, because then they signed up for it. Otherwise, you just hoodwinked and bamboozled somebody. They feel like you are 100% into this, and they probably they probably feel like maybe you're not, but they're like, maybe it's me. Now you have them internalizing it. Good job. Rude. But yeah. Shame. Anywho, that concludes that. Also, seriously, about the reading wrap-ups, get it together. What somebody else is doing with their life should not bother you. And what if they got a mental health something or another that they have to read? Or they have to escape? I don't have none of that. Do you? So I'm one of those people that's I'm visual when I read. So it's like a whole movie. That's why when y'all switch eye colors or something, I'd be like, That is also why when you first, I like a description of the people when the book begins. Don't have me. There are so many times that I have gotten to chapter 20 and found out that a character is black, or found out that they have I've been visualizing this whole other person. Give an accurate description of your character. And it's not like I don't read romances with black people. Hello, black. Okay, all day. But if I'm reading it's such a hot topic because a lot of other races do not write black characters. And so I feel like, so when I go into the book, unless you explicitly tell me that this person is black, I'm not going to assume that they are. If you say that they are tall, dark, and beautiful, I know that, well, one, if you say tall, like, you can't be meaning me, but, like, I don't think that you mean anybody that, you know, is like a taller version of me. Because that is not generally what you mean when you say that. So then I need you to give way more context clues or just outright say that they're black. Or that they are a redhead or a blonde or whatever. Help me with my visualization. Because the movie is playing and I do not like to change cast mid-production. All right? Please and thank you. But that's it for today's. Thank you for watching another episode of Rambling with Seven. If you need me, you know where to find me. My information will be below. I will see you guys next week with the story that I have for next week. I was shooketh, and there's a plot twist in the story that even shocked me. And I listen to Reddit stories all day on TikTok. Like, that is what is down my timeline. That and breaking news. And I am so sick of hearing breaking news. Like, do not break any more news to me. All right? But next week's it's going to be a nice one. So thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Mwah. Bye.